there's some information that we need to get to people about flu season.
Absolutely.
Okay.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Richard Ray, and I'm the director of your local health department. And I want to talk to you today about an important issue for all of us on the island as well as nationally. I want to talk to you about the flus. Now notice the S on that, flus, because there's two of them that we have to deal with this year. The first is the seasonal flu. Now this is something we deal with every year. It arrives in various and sundry manifestations, and by and large doesn't wreak a great deal of havoc on most communities. However, we are telling you this year that we will be holding a flu clinic at the elementary school on Saturday the 19th from 8 in the morning until 2. And this is a flu clinic to get a free flu shot for individuals 18 years and older. And we are advising everyone who possibly can come in to please come on in and get your flu shot. We have a limited supply, so we'll be going through until the supply is exhausted. But it's going to be done on the 19th of this month from 8 to 2 at the elementary school. And it's important for you to at least get some protection from this seasonal flu. Now the bigger issue this year obviously has been H1N1 virus or flu. We do not have vaccine at this point for this, but the town of Nantucket, through your health department and Nantucket Cottage Hospital, are gearing up to address the issue for the community. Once we obtain the H1N1 vaccine, and we have ordered locally 5,000 doses of it, we will be sponsoring the same sort of flu clinic. We're going to more than likely do 4 or 5 of them throughout the fall and early winter. But there are some simple precautions that you can take as an individual to protect yourself from a contamination factor with regard to the flu. The simplest thing you can do is to wash your hands. Use a sink and soap every time you can get to it. If not, carry a small bottle of sanitizer. I carry mine in my pocket all the time. They're obtainable at most of the pharmacies. Keep a pump bottle around the house. And wipe off things such as telephones, keyboards, and mice if your kids are using them. If there's a lot of family use of particular items, or if people are in your house borrowing things, please wipe them down. Use a sanitizer, hot water, or bleach and water. These are some of the simplest things that you can do. Another easy, simple thing to do is to not shake hands anymore. We're asking the community not to shake a hand. In fact, we're kind of hoping the bump comes back. Elbow bump, a little hip bump or something.
No fist bumping?
No, I would not do fist bumping.
Okay.
No, there's too much associated with handling there.
All right.
And just be aware of your surroundings. Cough into a handkerchief, more appropriately cough into your elbow. Don't cough into your hand, because then you're not going to find yourself in a position where you can clean that, and you're going to be shaking somebody's hand, which we don't want. Again, if you want some simpler precautions or how to treat somebody that's got the flu, go to my website, which is the town of Nantucket.
.gov.
Yeah, nantucket-ma.gov. Go to the public health website, or right on the main page of the town of Nantucket's website. In red is an item called Talk Flu to Me. If you check on that, there's a nice video associated with precautions for the flu or how to treat somebody with a flu. If you've got kids, and this is important, if you've got kids and that child does not feel well in the morning and may seem to be running a fever, keep that child home from school. This is also an excellent way to prevent the spread of this virus. Do not give him or her a couple of Tylenol and send them to school, because by the time that wears off, it's going to be noontime. The school nurse will finally notice this because it's brought to the attention of the teachers, and there will be some contact spreading that has gone on and some needless passing of this flu. Keep your child home if they don't feel well. Once the fever breaks, keep them home for 24 hours after that, and then send them to school. DPH has recommended that we not close schools this year, as they did in the past, unless we see a rapidly increasing amount of flu showing up in any particular environment. Other than that, take care of yourselves, be ever vigilant of what you're touching, who you're talking to, and your surroundings. The H1N1 does carry a higher mortality rate for younger kids. This is the population most at risk, between 6 months and 18 to 20 years. So we want to be very cautious about them. Plans are underway and under consideration for vaccinations within the school system, but let me assure you that these vaccinations at this point are not mandatory. The parents will be able to make a choice whether their children get vaccinated or not, and whether they get vaccinated or not. But I would urge you, vaccinate your children, vaccinate yourselves. This is probably the biggest flu threat we have seen since the 1918 flu. Thank you.
Can I ask you one question?
You may.
How do you know the difference between the flu and the swine flu? What are the symptoms?
You don't specifically know the difference from the symptomatic approach to this. The only way that you're going to differentiate this is to have a test at the hospital, a blood test.
But that means you could infect more people if you
Absolutely, absolutely.
So that's why you're saying stay in.
If it's the flu in any form,
Right.
if you don't feel well, don't go to work. Stay home. Because if you don't, you run the chance of risking infecting the rest of your employees, and an entire building or a business may end up shutting down. You don't want to be responsible for that. So stay home and take care of yourselves.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.